this day and age is metagame, as it's just so far away from that, and I feel like a lot of the 2-base timings actually hit optimally against Terrans that they kind of go for that MVP style.
Mech.
Yeah, mech.
Okay. Well, we'll see how things pan out, but let's introduce our players. Starting in the top right from Team FXO, it is LoWeLy, also known as Anton Plabanovic. LoWeLy plays fourth at WCS EU. He also placed first in its combined regionals, combining a lot of individual countries like Serbia, like Romania, like Italy, just because their scene obviously is nowhere near as large as some of the other countries like Sweden, like the UK, like Norway, or Spain. LoWeLy did very well in getting some really nice wins in ZVZ, but now it's ZVT. And last year we saw, or not last year, last season we saw LoWeLy match up against Thorzane pretty well, and even able to take out Thorzane. So I'm actually really curious to see how LoWeLy's going to stack up against GanZi, a Terran that's sort of the opposite style of Thorzane.
That's right. And of course, Thorzane is known for being the Spoon Terran, very macro passive and just takes small advantages. GanZi, not so much. He wants the overt advantages. He wants the very clean cut. I have this many units over you, and I'm going to be a lot more aggressive with them. So we'll see how LoWeLy does with this. A little bit of interesting placement with the barracks, just to hide the barracks so that if LoWeLy doesn't actually scout out, he'll think it could potentially be a 2-racks, but there LoWeLy does a good job and just scouts out the base. So he will make sure that he can just 15 hatch very, very smoothly. You can see that the spawning pool is going to go down now at 16, which is the absolute standard time in ZVT. But I do want to mention something really quick. LoWeLy is being so cautious. A lot of times Zergs don't actually scout in the early game stages, Frodan, and it's because they just want to be super greedy. You know, they just want to get as many drones on minerals as fast as possible to get those hatcheries out, to get those spawning pools out. But LoWeLy sending a 10 drone just to go scout out, and look at this. 6 drones are being placed down here just to be safe in case there's another proxied proxied barracks somewhere on the map, and he has to defend against an all-in.
And it is Cloud Kingdom, a map that 2-racks is very strong on. GanZi even playing into that knowledge and placing a bunker behind the mineral line. And trying to force a reaction out of LoWeLy, but he should be safe. Nice pull back there, and that Marine really won't be doing anything. Yeah, and so that 10 scout is a respect, because GanZi used to 2-racks all the time. All the time. In fact, we've seen him in NASL 2-racks in certain situations. So it's not a bad judgment call at all, and that's based off LoWeLy's scouting information. LoWeLy loves preparing for his opponents. Said so in his profile every time we interviewed him. Researches his opponents very extensively, and so LoWeLy's taking all the precautions. Now he's also going to poke into this natural area and force a lift very early on, which is also a nice win for LoWeLy.
And GanZi isn't ready. Oh my gosh, GanZi, what are you doing? He might lose a depot. Frodan.
He is. That depot is well. Depot's gone.
Oh my gosh.
And he lost 2 lings for that.
That hurts a little bit. I mean, obviously he'll have to remake that, but the fact of the matter is there could be a lot of all-ins that come directly behind this. So I think GanZi should be a little bit wary that some sort of like Zerg Baneling could be potentially here.
No, he scouted the main, so he still there's no gas.
Oh, that's
true. So that gives him some concert. Oh, picking up a mule! Oh, man, if he got that mule. Although GanZi is going to be on triple orbital, so we can't really underemphasize or overemphasize the importance of sniping a mule or 2.
But you know what? When you get up into the base and see, oh, you have no reactor on your barracks. Oh, you also have no factory down. Something's a little bit suspicious, Frodan. I mean, it's already 6 minutes into the game, and it's like, where is your stuff? So LoWeLy, just by process of elimination, should say, oh, my opponent went for a fast expansion. Okay, so it's 3 fast command centers I'm dealing with. How am I going to reply to this? Now, LoWeLy has been known to go very tech-oriented. You can see how fast these 2 gases are already. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a 3rd and 4th gas being placed very soon, but especially when you know you're up against 3 command centers, It's actually really, really kind of I wouldn't say unorthodox, but normally you just wait off a little bit to get your gases, really saturate your bases, and rely on queens, similar to the DRG style, where you get 6 queens, and then you actually start, you know, mass teching.
Well, GanZi's also going to pressure this third base, which is really nice as well. I do like that DRG style that you allude to, Andre. I love watching mid-game aggression when it comes to Zerg. I mean, we're seeing more and more of it too. Startail Life just showed a lot of people how to play against an aggressive Terran like Marine King.
Yeah.
Where I think, and everyone mutually agrees, that Artosis said it best, where in the matchup, it seemed like Marine King thought he was the aggressor, constantly pushing with bio and poking everywhere. But when Zerg's the one meeting them out in the middle of the map and putting the aggression on in response, then Terran's the one that's in the middle of the trouble. And LoWeLy is pretty aggressive when he gets his units early on. He's not a Zerg that necessarily tries to max out on drones all the time. This bunker placement is very nice. You take advantage of the lack of vision. But as long as LoWeLy, he can transfuse, so his satchery is perfectly fine.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be losing anything really. With good transfuse, you can see he's keeping all of his queens alive. Not only that, he's taking out the bunkers very easily. So that's why I wasn't too worried. I mean, GanZi is putting on a little bit of pressure here, but it's just not enough. Now 2 Hellions are going to swing into the natural, it looks like. And it looks like 2 Hellions already did. Excuse me, I missed that completely. But he's going to roast just 1 drone get up here. Let's go ahead and look at how many workers killed so far. 8. So I apologize for that Hellion run by.
Yeah, it was all a distraction. It's a trap. As oh, the drones are running straight to the Hellions. No. Talk about standing up to the bullies, Andre. That's the theme of tonight, man. I think we need to pull up that video and show it in between games,
dude,
Elliot.
That is so nasty, too.
We need to pull up that video if that's okay. But GanZi is he's following up with some pretty standard Banshee harass, although he's only making 1 Banshee and switching directly back into bio.
Where is
so
that
mixing
Banshee?
it up.
Okay, there it is. I was wondering where that Banshee was, but you can see the 4 queens out in the field. Definitely very helpful at this point in the game. I mean, you're able to deflect so many different attacks. Hellions and Banshees actually lack a lot of power and a lot of, I would say, like burst potential. You know, Marines are able to actually target down a queen pretty fast with good numbers, whereas Hellions kind of tickle queens. Banshees, they have these, you know, huge attacks, and then they have a little bit of animation to just reload. So that's a lot of times when you can actually transfuse, which makes queens just so effective at dealing with Hellion Banshee. I really feel like it's a good style to go, don't get me wrong, but I think, you know, overall, Hellion Marine is better for the power. But, of course, the finesse goes to Banshees. Wow, look at this, Ferdinand.
What?
4th Command Center.
Oh, 4th Command Center, wow. GanZi playing greedy of all greeds.
Yeah.
He goes double eBay into 4th Command Center even before he's able to establish his medevac count. Pretty greedy, but it's a good mix-up. Again, this is kind of goes to show you that people's styles have been really changing due to the metagame of how safe it is to play super greedy. I mean, GanZi's not even really like walling off at his natural. And we see some Terrans at this stage, when they want to go for a 4 base, they kind of wall off the top of the natural ramp where the rocks is, either with a command center planetary or some barracks, supply depots. But I mean, GanZi's playing so minimalist that he doesn't really have anything. Everything's in the open, including these Hellions that are free for the pickings. And this is definitely very annoying, but at the same time, it gives LoWeLy lots of good scouting information. Yeah,
but it's unfortunate because the planetary fortress is already being made. This is a gigantic advantage right now for GanZi. I mean, really, all he has to do is sit back from here. He doesn't even need to actually do those, you know, fabled 2-2 timings because he's invested a lot into getting this expansion, getting that SCV count up, and he wants to actually materialize from that base, and he can do so. You can see his production is really, really good, but it could be greater. He can go up to 4 factories. He could go up to probably 12 barracks. It's quite substantial, and obviously he's not there yet. So I would think GanZi actually waits a little bit. If he doesn't wait, then it does actually empower LoWeLy a little bit more, but LoWeLy is definitely needing to do something about that expansion because he cannot let that just go up and obviously be materialized. If he loses this time here, he loses the game basically.
Well, LoWeLy is taking up the Hive and getting his gases number 7 and 8. Very important to establish your mid to late game. But just like you said, I mean, GanZi now has everything in production. His supply count's healthier than LoWeLy's. And that's because LoWeLy's trying to mass tech. LoWeLy is also trying to squeeze in things very quick as well. Like, his hive is pretty quick. Even before, like, he's able to even get +2/+2. Like, that's super greedy.
I can't believe this. I can't believe GanZi is able to max and take his 4th base way before for the 2-2 timing. Like, I thought, you know, he would be at, like, probably, like, 160, 170.
Yeah, like, he wouldn't have a huge punch.
Exactly. But you can see how greedy GanZi's been playing,
92
being able
SCVs,
to do this.
man.
Like, this is, oh, my God.
92 SCVs to 98 workers, but GanZi also gets fungal on the ramp. What are these ambushes we see out of Zurich today? This is quite ridiculous that GanZi's able to, or LoWeLy's able to shut down a huge portion of the push. Although LoWeLy doesn't really have that many units out other than a few Zerglings and the Infestors. More Zerglings are on the way. Can LoWeLy get there in time before the units take a strong position? GanZi's coming with double tank reinforcements with a lot of bio. Oh, and this time he's more well anchored. A lot of medevacts are low on health, but it doesn't matter because as long as they keep the units charged up, and he can deny this 4th base, GanZi will be infinitely ahead.
Yeah, and you can see GanZi actually not macroing the best, but still, like, his production is so powerful just with this that he's able to consistently just send units, and these reinforcements are so hard to deal with. Zergling's trying to counterattack, but a ton of units, reinforcement units, are here to deflect that so easily. And it's because of his production. I mean, you can see taking out the 4th base, LoWeLy is really struggling here. GanZi showing a little bit of life in NASL after being 0-3. He's right now at the bottom of the league. I like what we're seeing so far.
And LoWeLy also at the bottom of that league as well. This is kind of a match between the two bottom placers in the division, and the winner kind of moves up to at least be able to potentially stay for Season 5 if they can even make a big stand. But GanZi just has so much of his army. He's got 91 workers, but LoWeLy's got 93 workers. It's so funny because their armies are so small. There's only 70 supply of units for LoWeLy, and in fact, some of his infestors are low on energy. He's not going to be able to do too much, although he does catch a lot of them. There's still plenty more Marine tank bio where they came from.
I know. It's like never-ending, Frodan. And you can see so many more units behind us. The medevacts are healing up.
Man. He's just he's literally just attack moving.
He actually does not need to do anything. I mean, this is the power of Terran economy and being greedy. You can see this reflected in Flash's games. Flash is definitely a player that does a very similar style to what GanZi just did, although he mechs. And it just seems like he's playing or outplaying his opponent so much, but it's the fact that he knows how to macro, he knows how to be aggressive and abusive, and it pays major dividends in StarCraft.
All right, well, LoWeLy has a few Infestors and Broodlords out, which does pose quite a problem to the lack of Vikings. But now GanZi's getting 3 Thors out and switching over to heavy Marines. 3-3 is almost done for GanZi, while 3-3 just started for LoWeLy. And that in itself might tell you how this battle is going to turn out, actually. But he's got a lot of Marauders to tank damage. One of the Infestors almost drops immediately. The Broodlords are trying to work on as much as they can, but GanZi's got so much. One flank can just take out everything.
This is going to be like the Pult micro on Entomb Valley, just without the micro. It's going to be Marines, Marauders, and Siege Tanks destroying Broodlord Infestor. And you might be like, is that possible? Yeah. Yeah, it is.
You got 6 Vikings out at a time, too. GanZi really on point with his production facilities. 5th base already established with 2 more command centers. Love the timings on these extra command centers that every Terran's really trying to incorporate nowadays. And even starting to get air weapons. Why not, man? When you and high sec auto tracking and building armor. GanZi on top of every single aspect of his game. And I was doubting whether or not he would win. But now that he has those 2 upgrades, GG.
No, that's not true, Ronan. Please don't be so biased. He needs new steel frame. Okay? Once he gets that,
then
Frodan,
no one will ever break.
No one will. And then he needs like 10 bunkers across. See, Frodan, these are the things that you have to think about. That if you didn't have me around,
that's why I'm not GM, man.
If you didn't have me around, you'd be like, oh man, how could I have won that game? Oh, Neo steel frame. That's right.
It's funny too because then you can also store more SCVs into your planetaries. So you can load up more of your SCVs and then drop the command center and build a planetary in their base with more SCVs to repair.
10 instead of 5.
Yeah. Oh.
Do you know what that is? That's a double.
That's a double. That's
double.
2 times.
100%. Wow, that's pretty crazy. LoWeLy is just sharking around with his units, just looking for maybe some strays caught off guard, but you can see this triple medevac drop in the back of LoWeLy's base is going to do a lot of damage.
So many drones, they don't have a job assignment. This is why it's better off to always have a job, guys. Stay active, stay busy, and nothing really LoWeLy can do. There's just too many units here, too many units out of position. Zerglings are rushing into the scene. Greater Spiral will drop. There's nothing that stops GanZi from just picking off the rest of his units after enough unit forces come. Gonna pick off the spawning pool as well. Great pickoffs from GanZi while he's pushing across the center of the map. He's got a flood of Vikings ready to meet out any Broodlords, which there's 7 of them with only a few Corruptors. Oh my goodness. Oh, Fungal won't even matter, man. Doesn't how many Broodlords
I just want to see the beauty though, because these are always beautiful.
Yeah.
Pop.
Boom. Welcome to the fireworks. It's July 4th weekend, man.
In America.
Only in America. That's true. Independence Day does not exist in countries across the world on the same date. And I guess at this point, GanZi's just going to send Thors to take on the entire army. Wow. I guess GanZi's just so rich. Look at this 5,000, 2,000. And he's just still making Marines, man. Talk about being very frugal with your money making.
I would make 10 command centers right now.
It's okay, Andre. You know what they say, right? They say that that every day if you save $2 until you're 60, you'd be a millionaire. So that's what GanZi's doing, man. Every day just spends only what he needs to and nothing more. Although he's making 5 Ghost Academies. He just start dropping nukes everywhere.
That's going to be awesome.
That's going to be, if you can even get to that point. Now, LoWeLy has the right mindset, right? As long as you have Infestor Broodlord, almost anything is possible if you can get good enough engagement, because what if it happens if you have enough momentum? You kill his entire army, then you're in his production facilities. He can't remax, and all of a sudden you win. We've seen crazy scenarios like that with Stefano on this map. DRG on Antigua Shipyard. There's those kinds of situations. Lenok on Antigua Shipyard. Like those kinds of situations where it's like, wow, I really don't think that they can win, but if they get a good engagement, and the unit composition's right, like what Cloud was saying in his profile, anything can happen.
Hey man, there's a lot of momentum that happens in this game, and you're absolutely right. I mean, all it takes is one good battle, and you're back into the game. You can even win it. It happens so many times in TVP. It does happen so many times in TVP. Wow, nice fungals. And this is what we're talking about, Frodan.
Doesn't even really matter.
Attacking into an enclosed position, but does he have enough fungal growths? He puts down another one, but there's just so much stuff here, Frodan.
I think LoWeLy will be able to hold, though. He's got plenty of fungals left, and the Marine count is pretty low, and more Infestors are rushing over. It's just that how does LoWeLy deal with the 3 Thors and the massive amount of Marines are coming?
You know what Dark would do? Infested Terrans everywhere.
Yeah, honestly, man.
That's not very
LoWeLy's
Dark.
at 17 Infestors, and everyone will see like, wow, that's a lot of gas, but man, Dark triples that.
Yeah, no, 17 times 8 is 136. You could have 136 Infestors out in the field.
Is that right? 17 times 8? Isn't that 106? Oh no, you're right, 136. I am really bad at math, man.
Thank God, I thought I was.
It's okay because GanZi, the only map that you need to worry about is that there's 3 nukes out and 4th on the way. More ghosts are coming out to the field. He's even getting nitro packs. What?
No.
It's gonna go mass Reapers to close out. Although I've seen that kind of utilized.
I've actually done it. It's really good
like
in TVP, I think.
To do it late game to snipe a bunch of stuff, like randomly, like pylons, stray pylons, a bunch of tech buildings.
Because think in TVP, would you rather have 5 Marauders or 10? Well, let's say 10 Marauders, or 20. What are those things called? Reapers. Going into the main base and just ravaging everything.
I don't know, man. It's
hard to tell. Oh.
Depends on what I'm feeling at that time of the day. Ooh, Vikings get fungled a lot. LoWeLy has an incredible amount of Infestors, and there's a lot of units that are going to drop.
Beautiful fungal.
And there's a lot of Vikings that are dying. GanZi is still filthy rich. This is disgusting, man. This is. He's using the Vikings to kind of just as his play toys at this point. There's really no real purpose of the Vikings because the Broodlord count is very low, and he's got enough Marines, and Ghost can actually honestly snipe the Broodlords out at this point. That's so funny.
GanZi sees his third base is killed. It's like, what do I do? Let me inject.
What?
Never mind. Or not GanZi, I meant LoWeLy.
Oh, I was like, man, how did GanZi have a
No, LoWeLy was like, oh man, I just got nuked at my third base. Nah, let's just inject. We're good.
Well, we have a lot of ghosts coming out here for GanZi. He's trying to EMP the infestors. I mean, the infestors are the only thing keeping him alive. Can he also get some good snipes or even kill off some of the infestors? Oh, the infestors! They're all running away. They don't know where to run. They're running right. They're running left. GanZi is nuking himself. He doesn't even know what to do. He's got so much money. I've always wondered what it's like to own Google. I guess I should just play GanZi style of Terran.
OP got.
Whoa! The blue was running straight into the nukes. Oh man.
Excuse me.
What is going on in this game?
It's OP GanZi style, bro.
I have no idea what's going on.
It's the lamest joke I can think of, but
this is... GanZi has just so many units, so much money. He's making 5 more nukes at a time. He's got an upgrade that he'll never ever need. He made nitro packs and never even made a single Reaper. I've known kids like that in high school, man. They get like the sickest like skateboard ever, and they cannot even stand on 2 feet and stay balanced, man. It's quite ridiculous. GanZi is absolutely controlled everything. LoWeLy now down to his 8 mineral patches at his third is still has minerals at 30 minutes in the game. Yeah. It's actually quite interesting.
Yeah, I know you're looking for impressive, but you're like, oh.
It's 30 minutes in the game, man, and he still has mineral patches. LoWeLy doing everything he can, but this is just the power of macro. GG gets called out after 30 minutes of frivolous money spending. That's like a pure example of what can I do with all this cash.
You know what happened this one time in New Jersey? My dad was actually the architect of Six Flags Great Adventure. He did a couple of the buildings there, and we got VIP passes. Okay, and you know how
to Six Flags?
To Six Flags.
And you get like 4-second access, right?
No. This is the park shuts down for everybody but VIPs. So there's literally like 500 to 1,000 people in the park. And everything's free. Food, drinks. So do you know what I did? I bought a Slurpee for nothing. I took 1 sip and I threw it out. It was a $10 Slurpee. Why? Because I could. That's GanZi style right there. That's what GanZi is.
GanZi style. Guys, the game number 1 was brought to you by Epson, the #1 projector brand worldwide. Check them out at Epson.com while we take a break and kind of laugh more about how rich we wish we were. Don't go anywhere. More action coming right at you right after this.